Proxy Table Gaming, PTG. I'm Hyper G. Lucky Sixes is here.
Ciao bella! Di bissimissimo!
Are you calling me female?
I think so.
Is that Bella? That's female, isn't it? I don't know.
Ciao, monsieur!
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You may not have been referring to me as a female, so we'll move on.
I do in English, so I don't know why I'd change it for a language.
Well, indeed, yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, hello.
Makes sense. Hello. Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Not too bad.
How you doing, YouTube?
Exactly. Do let us know how you're doing in the comments.
Just how you doing.
That's the first thing you need to do.
What have you done this week?
Yeah, bullet points would be great.
Like minimum 100 words, that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Maximum 10,000, but we're a bit easy on it.
Yeah,
so.
Sure.
Absolutely.
That's more of a guide.
Yeah, a loose guide. Yeah, exactly. So we've got another battle report today. I mean, assuming we're going to get it done, we might just not.
We could just chat about a day, I think.
Could do now. Yeah, 10,000 words each. See how long that takes. It's Scottish Championship still.
Round 5.
Yes, we're nearing the end.
Nearing
the end.
Yes.
And you've had a roughish time in your last 2 rounds.
It's been last 2 rounds have been rough, but it's still mixed throughout the whole tournament, really. And it is me. We'll get on to.
Aye, indeed, yeah.
So I find myself needing a big win to salvage any sort of goals and stuff.
Yeah.
For this battle and the tournament.
Because I mean, you tend to go into tournaments with minimum expectation of 2 wins. Is that right? And hopeful expectation of 50 plus points. Is that right?
Yeah. So normally it's 2 wins at least. Although with high elves now I've moved on to win more than I lose.
Yeah,
so
your
it's just slightly
expectations goes up.
50 points is always a thing, regardless of what army. That's always what I want. And don't get 20'd. But I have got 20'd, so I've failed that.
Okay.
I've done that a lot in my last few as well, and I'm like, I've got to go to a tournament where I don't get 20'd at 1 game. But, oh well.
Well, it does mean you're trying to get points out of 4 battles if you get 20'd in 1.
Yeah,
so,
right.
You're getting 50 out of 80 is actually pretty.
So win 2 or sometimes win more than I lose. 50 points and don't get 20'd, and basically you do that and you come out thinking good. But I'm on like 30. I think I want to say it's like 32 or something.
Okay.
Currently, maybe 30, maybe even something like that. So I need a big top draw win to get me into it. Obviously, same list. Kruger being the main jouster.
I want to see some Hawthorne Curse this game, man.
I know. He's been like round the sides or whatever. I mean, he had one battle against the last battle
behind the hill.
The last battle was behind the hill, not doing anything. But against this one, we've got 2 heralds.
9 entries.
It's only 9 heralds. Warriors of the Dark Gods. Again, Luke Blacksall, good old boy, good old Mert.
Good to know.
Yeah. 2 exalted heralds. Big unit of paired weapon warriors. 16 barbarian thrown weapons, which was interesting choice. 10 my best unit in the Warriors game. 10 chosen great weapon wrath. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Then for extra kick, 5 chosen paired weapons, that means they've got 4 attacks each. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Wow.
Big defensive block of 6 for Sworn. With spike shields. So I think they're 2 up armor, res 5.
Right.
Chimera, just for kicks and giggles, because it's pretty crap.
Moving those chosen around.
Yeah, and the Helmore with the 2 ominous gateways, which are the ones
that's what I meant.
That's what you meant. So
chosen around, yeah.
It is there to move literally everything else in the thing around the table, and spoilers, he uses it.
Okay.
So it's these the overview pictures are very interesting. You have to keep up. So
I was going to say, all right,
get your popcorn, everybody, and keep up.
Energy drinks at the ready.
It makes the game crazy, like fun but crazy.
Yeah.
So we play Counter Thrust and King of the Hill. I believe. Unless I got
And
that
you've
wrong.
even changed it to 5,000
I changed it to
points.
5,000 for the last one, which means the next 5 of the 4,500 are going to be so.
100%.
Every cloud. But yes, and here is deployment. I'm going to move us. I always do this. I'm going to move us into the corner.
It's hard to.
We are not.
We need like a general rule that no one ever battles in the top left.
Yeah, I know, right? So did a bit of back and forth, and he ends up getting first turn.
Wow, that's a surprise.
Well, I think you have to do with counter thrust. You have to do 3. I think he went first and then dropped for first.
Okay.
So wanting to put the push on me, but basically because he put that, I sort of got what I wanted in terms of matchups and things. He put his warriors over quite early on the left.
Yeah.
So I had that big book of warriors.
Yeah.
And then put his Forsworn in the middle and Chosen on the hill, and then dropped. So I was quite happy to just miss the warriors and make.
Are they movement 4 or they
movement
got
4.
the enhancement? Oh, wow,
4,
it's going to take 2 or 3 turns to even get anywhere then.
Well, normally, yes.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, so
obviously
the main points of interest are the centre and the on the hill and the forest on the right. I'm going to have a big problem with Chosen. Like if I go in to either of those units, they're going to chump me before I go. So my biggest thing of that is because I don't have much magic range. So my biggest weapon against them is impact hits.
I was going to say
for sure
impact hits.
So I managed to get both the units virtually opposite of Chosen, which I was really, really happy about. But obviously he's not just got Chosen; he's got 2 heralds floating around as well. So I believe the blue one's the general.
Okay.
But it doesn't really matter for leadership and things. It's just for extra points at the end if I can get it.
Yeah.
And I'll have Evo, but he's got 4 pages, so I'm not like, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so basically, my left to right, I've got Centaurs with Krugar in front and centre. Let's chow down.
Yeah.
All monsters in the middle because I thought, well, they can go any way and stuff. And also they're not too bothered about the ruins.
So what you're saying is your monsters all go both ways, right?
They absolutely. Sometimes backwards.
Quite often backwards.
Chariots. In there, and then an extra. I think I put this the giant on the right down quite early on. So, if I can get both in, or if I can get him into the paired weapons guys, they're only strength 4. They have a lot of attacks, but they're only strength 4, and they might only do 6 wounds. Is my thought, and then if he does, great. I can actually do some damage to him.
Are you going for the hill or are you defending the hill?
So I think I went the forest because it was good for ambushes.
Yeah, your ambushes makes sense.
This
is the map that we saw Kev.
Yes,
it's crowning victory on.
Yeah, so, and it's the same map that you play on.
Indeed, we all played on it in round 5. Yeah,
so very much so. So he put being Forsworn and all that stuff, and having heralds that can go around everywhere. He put the middle because that's fine. He can easily defend that, and I put the right because I thought that'd be harder for him to defend.
Yeah,
I hope. Anyway, but yep. Then he's got warriors, Chimera, barbarians, herald, Forsworn, herald, chosen.
Yep, and a good old Helmore at the back.
And Helmore at the back.
The purpley tokens, I imagine.
These purple tokens are where he puts them.
Can the herald go through?
So I'm
needs
not
to be wearing.
Off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure. You don't have to be wearing it, but if you don't, you take toxic attacks. And we're talking about Hellforged armor here, aren't we?
We are. So
I think, and this isn't 100%, but I think if you've got Hellforged armor, you can go through. If you haven't, you can go through, but you take some toxic hits. The other thing he can do with the Helmore stuff is blow up the portals and anything within 6 inches maybe, takes D6 toxic hits as well. So
it's like a little minefield or something.
And I think when he goes down, that happens as well. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether they blow up or they just go, but that's basically the way to do it. And at the end of every magic phase, he puts one down. I think it's his actually as well, which is why he wants to go first to start getting the portals up. This is how it starts. His turn. Boom. Chosen.
Oh.
Look at the chosen Wrath.
So they've swift reformed and just gone, here we are.
That's it. They've gone through the portal. That was his first bit, and gone. You know what? If you want to charge me, you can. Although I think.
And there goes your impact hits.
There goes my impact hits, and also I can only charge him with the centaurs.
Can the Gortak not get in?
The Gortak cannot get in from there. It looks close, but I'm pretty sure it can't.
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise,
not that it's an ideal place for him to be anyway.
Yeah,
he helps.
Otherwise, wasn't too aggressive on the right. Otherwise, so I think worried about the impact hits. Fair enough. And obviously, the Razor Dust Chariot gives him extra.
Yeah, and he can bide his time on the right until your ambushers come, can't he?
And in the centre, not going for it. Did a weird change with the Forsworn. I couldn't understand why he did that. There was no reason, sort of thing, but he did it anyway, and so just moved up as much as he could on the left. So, yeah.
Is the Herald large or gigantic?
Good question.
Because it may be that the Forsworn are large and they would block line of sight for your
No, there was none of that, so I'm going to say gigantic infantry. But he might not be because he's only on 50-50.
Okay.
So one of the two. No, he's only got to stomp one, so it must be large.
Well, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
But whether or not that was in your mind anyway, I mean, like you already said, you got the 4-up Aegis on the.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't.
Herald,
in other news, moves Helmore behind the wall just to sit there for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, initially you might have been thinking your centaurs could go on a bit of a rampage and just run through, but now they've got a problem.
They do. Wrath of God comes down.
Oh, it gets better.
To put there. Fair enough. And he puts a portal here. Shock horror. So don't expect them to be on the flank next turn.
No.
In my turn, so kind of quick turns in terms of what's actually happening. There was a lot of movement stuff, so we were there for a while. And I'm gonna have to move us ever so slightly again. The centaurs still have light troops because they are not drunk. Everything else as drunk markers.
Well, that was very handy then.
So technically they could have vanguard actually as well. I don't know whether I forgot or just chose not to. But that meant they were able to go right around and see you later. I'm not getting involved with.
No, can the Chimera charge them or not?
Yep. Yeah, okay. I think so.
You're not worried about that?
Not worried in the slightest about the
The Chimera's not the flying one, is it? So.
200 points. I don't think is no. But it's meh. It's got 4 attacks. It's not going to do anything to them, sort of thing. So, and because of Wrath of God and the what are they called? Chosen. They're just
that unit no one uses. Yeah.
Yeah. I move the F back.
And why is no one surprised?
Yeah. So I mean, it's a mixture of the two, really. But I'm not getting involved in that.
One of the giants hasn't followed the plan, though.
So well, the other giants are there where they are to basically, if the chosen come forward, to countercharge with everything. Basically, I've not got terrible charges where I am. He's got a really long charge. I think he needs a 10 to get into my Gortak.
And a tiny bit of damage from the ruins on the way through as well.
Ruins as well. So I'm like, it's not. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because then I'd get overruns and blah blah. Whatever. So yeah, I'm sort of trying to bait him there. My other giant goes on a massive baiting spree. Knows that things around it can charge, including the Chimera. But it's like, well, if you charge them, my centaurs are on the hill and can charge other stuff. So I'm like, come at me there, and if you don't, I'll come at you, sort of thing. I'm actually hoping his barbarians shoot at him, twice with the stun
Yeah,
issue,
make
and
him
I
a bit
get
angry.
Yeah, I'm hoping they choose that option actually.
And then the giant can go on a rampage and kill the Helmor.
That's
That
my
would
plan.
be my thinking at that
Yeah.
stage. Can the Chimera see the giant's rear?
Yes.
Yeah. Again, you're probably not worried
And
about
again, I think it's flank actually as well.
that.
But I
again,
don't
you're not
care
worried
about the
about
Chimera.
that.
The Chimera actually, if he goes in on his own, helps me out.
But yeah, it just rages you up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. In Magic. Actually, I should probably. So I get this off to increase my thoughts furthermore, but we will go back slightly. On the right, I don't move so much, but I do move my gargles over, thinking that if I can chaff him and then he charges me and then blah blah blah, then I can ensure the charge. But then he's got his herald there, so yeah, that sort of thing. Anyway, D3 plus 1, so yay. And plus agility, which would be good if I go into a chosen.
If you go into the chosen.
And he chooses both of these charges.
Yeah. That's reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fair enough. I think in my Magic, just as a thing, I try all the Evo spells and then end up with 2 dice. So he just dispels all the Evo spells, snipes.
It looks like you had Flux 1 by the looks of it as well. And the Impassable, so you didn't have a lot to play with.
But. Yeah, but anytime I get a thing off, more often than not, he's dispelling the snipes.
Yeah, sure.
Which is cool. So yeah, it gets both in. So not a huge amount of attacks because of how he's placed, but yeah, certainly moving up to me. The barbarians now won't have much to do. And the chosen just kind of move up. But obviously the biggest news is the warriors have changed. The warriors are now on my right flank, along with now a unit. I
was looking for them, yeah.
And now with a unit of heralds.
Oh my.
Which is interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
And again, not being aggressive. I think perhaps he could have been a bit more aggressive over here at this point, because I can charge one of those
2 heralds together, yeah.
I can charge one of those things, but I will get counter-charged and die. So I'm not sure. Yeah. I guess he wanted to make sure his chosen didn't die, sort of thing.
And again, until the ambushers come on, it's needs a bit of clearing, really. Doesn't it?
And with ambushers potentially coming up next turn, he moves his chosen to face the south. And moves his Helmor to face the never eat shredded wheat west.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that's where we're at with that. In Magic, he gets another Wrath of God off.
Okay. So the first one came down and didn't do anything.
Actually, no, I'm not sure. Oh no, this is just saying that it came down. Actually.
Oh, and it hits his Forsworn.
And that's all it hits. So yes.
Bonus.
This is after combat.
Okay.
So he's got a charge, a flank, and 3 wounds.
Yeah.
I've got 4 wounds.
Which 2 were Wrath of God, weren't they?
Oh yeah, 2 wounds. So yeah, you're right. I was gonna say, how did I get? I was thinking in my head, how did I 2 want both of that? But yeah, so there's that. But I run.
I was going to say, yeah,
his Chimera
it's not great.
Ends up getting me. But I mean,
Chimeras the Chimera, so good, aren't they?
Well, yeah, just at least it can fly, right? So, sorry,
it's Swift Stride.
Yeah. So it gets me the Swift Stride. The Forsworn turn to face like that. But the Chimera again is it's a 200 point chaff unit now because it's only got 2 wounds. It will die to anything.
Yeah.
Anything sort of thing. So, but my giant is dead, so it didn't quite survive. If I'd have kept it there, then happy days sort of thing. But
I'm guessing it moved its maximum to get into that position. You couldn't have given the Forsworn a harder charge.
Yeah, exactly. First charge, even though he's got all these things, is the chariots on my center into the Chimera, which flees. Ends up fleeing through the Forsworn and through the impassable terrain, taking yet another wound.
So you got half points on the Chimera.
Half points on the Chimera at least, which is cool. And they fail charge because they don't try to redirect into the chosen.
No. sensible.
Even though impact hits might be good.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
The trouble is, it gives him a potential
exactly.
overrun and then a following charge, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the centaurs charge the Forsworn, which actually it looks long, but actually with the D3+1 and the rerolls to wound and movement, I'm gonna say 8.
Yeah, well, it's at least 7. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty.
No, that looks good.
That's pretty
I like
close.
That.
So.
I mean, that's why they're on the hill, isn't it? So.
Oh, for sure. And I'm not sure I've got an overrun into the barbarians, but there won't be any other counter charges, and I wouldn't mind if they charge, sort of thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, all you're looking at is to get rid of the Forsworn over 1 or 2 turns.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I've got a lot of attacks, a lot of AP. I mean, that's the AP4, right? So if I'm going to get some 2-up armor save at strength 7 with everything, they're the ones I want to. Oh, I pop the drunk thing now as well, so I'm +1 strength on the charge, baby. Yeah, absolutely. I have got to get through 16 wounds though.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's a lot of wounds. But we'll see.
Well, he hasn't got his general there. I mean, I don't know if that helps or not.
Well, that's it. Yeah. They get in, thankfully, and I also get all of my ambushes on.
Okay, so you're not even going for the objective then.
Well, this is it. So, I think I've obviously just got to defend the one on the right. I've got to attack the one in the middle because that's the one he's defending. So I'm like, well, right. I think if I can, so these chosen aren't running anywhere, right? They want to come for me. That's what they're sort of showing. If I can get everything to charge it, I will lose stuff, but they will die. Like they just can't deal with all four. Like they will they'll probably kill 2 monsters of my chariots, but they will die. Is my thinking. Yeah. So yeah, I moved my scoring. So my Longhorns go against the Helmore because actually I don't mind that. The Helmore's not that much.
It's only res 5 with not a lot of save, is it?
Yeah, right. My Wildhorns go over here basically because I know it's fleeing, so I want to try and pop off that wound and start and make the barbarians think.
Mm-hmm.
Just they'll be attacked from 2 sides, and then with the Wildhorns at the top, again I want to add some rank bonus and stuff to any sort of potential charge. On the chosen.
I like that.
So I forsake my scoring zone where his chosen and warriors are.
Yeah, okay. I thought that you needed scoring to get in the forest. But
so no, yeah, the way
scoring on the hill.
King of the Hill's an odd one sometimes, but so I only need to attack.
Stop him getting scoring in the forest.
Yeah, so I need to contest the middle while not having him contest the right.
Yeah,
and he needs the opposite.
I thought it was the opposite. Yeah, no problem.
So I'm like, okay, if I can manage that, I'm a bit close with my failed charge on my chariots. I think they rolled a 6. So I'm like,
would you consider fleeing that though, if the chosen charged the chariots?
There's every possibility that I would.
I mean, we're jumping quite far ahead there, so we should probably.
But yeah, so that is movement. Magic. He dispels the +2.
Attacks.
AP, so +1 attack and +2 AP. Yeah. I've got that twice because I've got it on the BSB and the unit.
Yeah.
And I just get the agility buff. Mainly because I'm thinking I'm probably going to charge someone next turn. And if someone charges me, I'll be a higher agility. So it's not a terrible one to have. But obviously, I would have liked one of the other ones as well.
Yeah.
In combat. Oh no, I've also got this one off as well because he focused on them too. I think I did 2 dice on everything.
Okay, so are you thinking that Gortak's going to be in combat then?
So, there is a long charge on this one. If I flee with my chariots.
If you flee, okay, so that.
But it's also to get the veil token
as well.
It's also to get the.
Fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense.
In combat, I kill 9. I think they have 3 each. They might have 4. I'm not sure.
I think it's 3.
I only lose 4, so I do a decent amount.
That's good.
And I believe
Kruger's pretty good on the charge, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, 9 out of they have 2 attacks in the front, so 10. Then he's got 4. 15. I've got rerolls to hit on obviously wounded on 2s. It wasn't I don't know, perhaps a few more, but I was pretty happy with how that happened. I think
If
they
you're only
passed.
AP2, were you? Were you AP2 or 3?
Yeah.
Because with spike shields,
4.
you might have done some back with that.
AP4.
Oh, okay. So he's only got 6 up armor
then. But yes, so we are on to his turn. I believe he holds. I'm going to say he holds. Rather
it looks like it, because you're doing charges.
Because he would turn into the wretched ones, I believe.
Right, yes, of course.
If he fails. So it's either he has failed and he's turned into wretched ones, which actually might be the case because he hasn't got any wounds on him, or he passes. I actually think it's the former now, I've said that.
Okay.
But onto his turn. However, whatever happens, he sticks.
Yeah. But the ones who are dead don't come back. It's just the ones that survived turn into wretched ones, don't they?
But they turn into full health wretched ones, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense then.
So, on his turn, his barbarians, who I'm not sure I said last turn, but were facing down again to help the Helmore, both, with the Helmore's help, charge the Longhorns to smash them up.
So you didn't manage to take out the Chimera either with your throwing weapons.
I didn't. But it does rally, and it just stays there, so I've got another turn.
Yeah.
I'm not too fussed. And his chosen charge, I flee, lose, I think I did, that's 5 wounds, I believe. No, 4 wounds into DTs and stuff, but it is 1 to 3s, I think. So, you can actually see the roll there. And he fails his redirect, which is this 5 and 6.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it looks like your gargoyles didn't panic either, which is good.
So, all in all, I'll take that. So, but yeah, he fails his charge.
Oh, great.
Needing, I think, a 4 or a 5. Has no champion. And gets a 1 and 2.
That's great, because that just accelerates the Longhorn Helmore combat, doesn't it?
Crazy lucky. And I was like, actually, I've got a chance of killing this Helmore now. So the Helmore goes in alone. The warriors, again, go into the centre.
Say, where are they now?
So they're right in the middle because they sort of feel like I'm ganging up on these chosen, which I am.
And you haven't got any ambushes over on that
and no more ambushes,
now,
so they don't need to worry about that. The chosen on the right turn to face, but do get a bit close. They're starting to get aggressive now. And the heralds again come up going, you know what, I can take it. That's how movement is. Obviously,
I'm not entirely sure about the herald unit idea. I think they gain a lot from being mobile.
Yeah, so do I. But I don't know whether if I go in with like a unit of impact hits, which do actually hurt a herald, I then have to randomize as well. So it's minimizing.
Yeah.
I think it's minimizing my actual threats to it.
No, there are positives to it, but yeah.
But I would agree. I would probably have run them separately, but he did to start off with. He just knows what, and he wants to clear that side, I think.
Yeah, makes sense.
He does something to my Gortak, but as you can see, rolls some crazy dice.
It's 3d6.
I think it would be Hellfire. Rolls.
Right.
Which is 2d6 on the higher one. I let it go on 566 because, oh my god, I can't stop.
Yeah, but then he only rolls 3 hits.
He rolls 3 hits and nothing, and 5, and he was like, oh man, that's 2 bad rolls. This is a bad turn.
Wasted, yeah.
Yeah, bad turn. And I think I dispelled mostly anything. I'll see in the next picture. Do I? No. He gets 3 wounds off here. On these with some more shooting and stuff. But that's it for magic, I'm sure. Yeah. In combat, because they're now wretched ones, which are so good because they attack all the time, he actually does 5 wounds to me. Which leaves me with 3, and I think so he gets half points, but I have cleared up that for Sworn unit, the scoring, and obviously, and that is another reason the warriors came to where they are.
You're not scoring anymore because you're drunk. Is that right?
Yes.
Or you are scoring.
No, I'm not scoring because I chose light troops to start off with.
At the start, yeah.
So they're not. They're just
going to score.
They're just trying to do as much damage as possible. Thankfully for me, his barbarians are facing the other way.
It's your turn now.
And it's my turn. So I a choice doesn't really become a choice.
No.
Down here, he only does 1 wound to me, and I do 2, which means we
That's
hold
fine.
because he's got a charge and a wound, and I've got 2 wounds. I'm buzzing for that because
you can take your time on that one.
Yeah, and this is his turn as well, so I'm like, that's good. Everything.
Interesting rolls from him on the left hand side there: 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, followed by 1, 1, 2, 2, 4.
Yes, so amazing to hits, terrible to wounds.
Yeah.
So when he rolls the hits, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And when he rolls the wounds, I'm like, oh yeah.
Because he would have been hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, I think. So I mean, that is a complete turnaround, isn't
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So great. I mean, UB, right?
Maybe.
Right. So this is an overview.
Good. We probably needed it.
We needed an overview, basically at the end of his turn. So to sort of show you where we're at with that. On my turn.
You're going for it,
right?
Oh no! Oh no!
So where he's at?
I can't believe you've done this.
Right.
It was going so well.
I fled. He stumbled forward some. This is what I've been working towards. This is what I think. I wanted at least 3 monsters. My guy's in as well. I did want some chariots, to be fair. I don't have that. But the Gore-Tax have impact hits. This is what I want. I've surrounded him. I'm on 3 sides.
Yeah.
Both Gore-Tax in the front, which means he can only kill 1 because he has to allocate attacks out. He won't kill my giant because he's only got maximum 6 attacks.
Yeah.
I mean, the wild horns in the back might have been a suggestion that I might not do that. Comment this, hashtag. But the Gore-Tax is stubborn, so you're like, you know what? I've had 4 games of sketchy as AF. I'm charging. I am charging, so we do that. The centaurs also go in the rear of the barbarians. I'm pretty happy by that. And if I can,
in theory, could you have turned the centaurs around with a pivot and used them in the rear instead of the wild horns? Yeah.
But then
you wanted the barbarians, yeah.
And also I have an overrun opportunity as well. Because I'm thinking,
yeah, absolutely. I don't think your idea is a bad idea. Yeah.
And also, while I'm at it, why not charge on the right?
Well, it would be rude not to at this stage.
I believe I'm in his flank, but if not, I'm right on the edge with my giant, who's in a pretty happy spot, and the impact hits of the
in a happy space,
chariots. Yeah. Let's do it, bro. Let's go in. That's what we're beasts. We charge, right? Pray to me, YouTube. They all get in.
You're all in.
To be fair. So
wow, yeah, everyone, even the ones on the right.
They were all pretty low charges, to be honest. I think like 7s and 8s. But I don't have Swiss Stride with the Gore-Tax, so they could have.
Or the giant
failed. No, but the giants I think were less. The giant in the flank was maybe a 5 or a 6 or something. So he's
still failable. Some of us don't always roll.
Exactly, and like the barbarians, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can be done.
Sorry. Top right. I fail my rally, and the chariots go off the board.
You keep rolling high, isn't it?
I know. I just 6s and everything. And I choose to just shoot at this chimera, and see what happens. In magic, I get +1 attack and 2 AP on the centaurs. I also get +1 attack and 2 AP on the wild horns.
That's really cool.
So everything else.
Chosen will be attacking before them, though, won't they?
Yeah. Yeah, but at least I'll get double attacks because I haven't got paired weapons. So I've just got throwing weapons normally. So. Yep.
I'm expecting at least a rank of those to be gone.
Chimera's gone.
Chimera's gone. Good.
Over here,
that could have been a problem if it had charged back.
Over here, smash up. I smash it up.
Well, that's a result, isn't it?
I lose, 5 wounds in total?
Yeah.
But I do 9 to him. I mean, impact hits
and
the giant stats.
Yeah.
He ends up. I don't know whether I did 9 actually, or I'd killed him. But either way, he either dies or flees.
Well, you've always said that Chosen's only real weakness is impact hits. So.
Yeah, and
range.
High shooting. Yeah.
Yeah.
My Centaurs actually die after they attack. He gets exactly 3 wounds off. So what can you do? But Krugar's there. Has done a decent amount. They are now steadfast as well, but they fail their steadfast, and I end up going into the Helmore, which
finishing it.
Krugar finishes off the Helmore.
Nice. And now he's warming up his Hawthorn curse.
And now he's drying it off from the blood first.
Yeah.
And then going, you know what, I'm going to throw this bad
boy. Well, he has got a pine cone on the end, so you know.
Yeah, exactly, right? The sharpest pine cone in the forest, I'll have you know.
Well, naturally.
So, I mean, that's gone well.
Hasn't it just?
Right.
Shame you couldn't have kept one centaur alive for the points, but still.
So...
Okay, this isn't after combat. No way is the Chosen not killed a single Wildhorn.
This isn't, and I haven't done nothing to him.
Yeah. Well, that I'm not so surprised about.
This. What was this? This
magic
seems like important.
Shooting. Or is this just a pre-combat?
So I've lost. I think this is Wrath of God, but I haven't said about Wrath of God before. Oh no, it's not at all. It's the portal.
Oh, eh?
The Helmore has died.
So
all the portals do indeed blow up.
Yes.
This one,
so you're
blowing up and doing a wound each to both the monsters and one to the Wildhorn unit, which I was gutted about for the monsters. If I'm honest.
And because the Chosen and the Warriors have got Hellforged armor, they're not suffering any toxic attacks.
Correct.
No, they would suffer toxic attacks, but they have 5 pages against toxic.
It just does nothing, basically.
Yeah,
and my giant was not in range.
Yeah.
So yeah, extra little wounds. Perhaps should have done this one first if I was clever.
Yes, that would be a good idea.
Anyway, surely it won't matter because after combat, just death everywhere. So much died.
I expected to see those Wildhorns going down. So that's all right. You'll take this, surely.
I go in, do some impact hits. He then goes to kill. So my impact hits, whatever, do however many wounds. With his remaining attacks, he kills a bunch of Wildhorns and my Gortak on the left because it only had 4 wounds to it.
Yeah, it took
so he was like,
from
just
the
do it.
portal.
He did with that extra spare wound. He does it to the Gortak on the right. Then I go and that means I did 16 wounds.
Nice.
I want to say, but that includes impact hits as well. Yeah. Which means he's not so with everything. He's got 4, 5. Then I think 15. I've got 16 to start off with. He's got a standard to equal it, and I've got a few charges and rears and all that stuff.
Charge, flank, rear. Yeah.
And he flees, but I don't catch him.
Oh, how annoying.
So I go with both the monsters.
Nothing was first right, did you? So it was all
yeah, exactly. That was the thing. He rolled a decent chunk, and I just didn't catch him. So I'll go. But
you were always going to pursue to get out of the way of the Warriors, weren't you?
There was an interesting thing that happened here because obviously my giant is like on the flank.
Flush. Yeah.
He didn't roll higher, but because I think he rolled 1 less, but because of the way he turns to face, I'm sure it's 90 degrees. He turns 90 because he's on their flank, so we'd go 90 degrees and run. He ends up there, so even though he's rolled 1 less, he can't see the Chosen. I'm sure that's rules as written. I'm sure that's how it ends up. But I was like, now if they rally, I can only go in on a Gortak, and he's got 6 attacks. Or 7.
You've got impact hits first, though.
I've got but you can kill me. So I'm like, man. So yeah,
he charged once and survived.
Yeah, so that's what happens in the middle. Obviously we've seen the Helmore on the right. I turn to face like that. I think he runs off the board. I'm going to say like that, but I basically turn to face in the middle.
So he's just got his heralds, and his warriors.
Yep.
And the fleeing Chosen.
Yeah, I did put my gargoyles there. Obviously, now it looks silly.
I think that's a good move. No, I think it's still a good move.
Just in case, to stop any counter.
Yeah, because I mean, if you don't break those Chosen in that turn, and the warriors come in the flank of a Gortak, then it's game over.
Yeah.
So, well, as good as.
So yeah, it's looking looking pretty good at this stage, but there is a lot to play.
Yeah, you have still got to get a scoring unit on that hill.
Yeah, exactly. So there is still.
Is this turn 4 or turn 3?
Centaurs went 1, 2, 3.
This is bottom of the third.
Yeah, bottom of the third. So this is halfway stage.
So you've still got 5 magic cards on the side. So.
Yeah, in his turn, he charges the gargoyles and charges the Restus chariot with his general.
Yeah.
So he's out of the unit.
Okay.
He fails with the warriors, gets in with the general, and moves his herald facing left, the rear of my, and has no counter charges. So that's a good move from his point of view. So yeah, I actually really wanted him to catch my gargoyles, because that would mean he's right over there and
facing the impassable.
Yeah. So he flees with his chosen though. His chosen do not rally.
Okay. What are they rerollable A or just A?
Oh no, it won't be rerollable because it doesn't have BSB.
Sure.
It's rerollable break tests, but not rally tests.
Right, not rally.
So yeah, that's where he ends up. In Magic, he does something here. I don't know, but yeah, there you go. And in my so right, yes, let's go back, shall we? Because obviously there's a crucial
Razor
phase.
Tusk. He's whiffed. He's whiffed, does he?
This is Magic, and this is fighting. I do nothing to him. Not
Whiffage.
to be not unexpected. He completely flubs.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that 5d6 on the side, he's rolled a 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is he strength 5? Your res 5. So wounding. And you 2 armor saves.
I think as well he had breath weapon as well that he did, and I saved it because I think 2d6
2 and 3 is
also a breath weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 attacks. He rolled 1, 1, 3, 5, and you armored.
Yeah, which is mental.
Yeah.
So I'm on a leadership 8. It's down to 7. I pass. That's mental. A herald,
which means you can now count.
Which means I can countercharge with chariots and giant in order to get impact hits and giant in.
Yeah. And you're fleeing off those chosen even further.
And I'll have a flank because of the Razor Tusk and the chariots, I believe. So, yeah, the chosen flee off. I just go with the giant, I think, because I want to move my Gortak away. But yeah, not quite off the board, so I'm hoping they just keep running. Just keep swimming, as a famous fish once said. Remaining moves, so Gortak comes way over here, goes, see you later. Obviously, a wiser man would have faced towards the chosen. But
because it looks like they've rallied, or they get about to.
Or could do, yeah. The Wild Horns go over to have a few pot shots. And Centaur Kruger comes in the middle to start shooting at the warriors and Herald mainly.
Realistically, you're not looking at that warrior unit, are you?
No. These come up to here. I don't know why. That's all they could really feasibly do. But again, trying to get towards the center objective. And my gargoyles rally, which is nice and interesting. I get a few spells off. Well, Spectral Blades, rerolls to wound on my intellect hits, which is nice. And altogether, they smash him up, bruv. I think it was the impact hit specifically.
That's awesome.
I can't work out from the things on the side, but yeah. Dead Herald, Dead General, and crazily, all 3 will survive the rest of the game.
Yeah, no threat over there for him.
Mental. Very lucky, really, on the initial thing, but really happy with what the giant and chariot combo did.
And the razor.
Oh, with the Razor Tusk is as far as I'm concerned, MVP. For having 0 wounds done to him. On that, so. In other news, this is overview at the end of my turn. So just as a shot. In his turn, he charges the Wild Horns, who flee, and then he redirects into Kruger, needing a decent roll, but also thinking he's got to get some points in my BSB.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing. He fails, but rolls the full 6, so I think comes.
I was going to say enough to get over the Warriors.
Yeah, which I'm pretty happy about, but obviously I've chaffed my Gortak, so I can't do both of them in. Not necessarily that I would have,
No.
but yeah.
The Chosen haven't rallied though.
And the Chosen haven't rallied.
They just turned around to tease us.
They crack on. Yes.
Massive.
Yeah, which is huge. So yeah.
He's literally got these 2 units in the middle.
And literally, he turns them to face Kruger Atal.
Hold that hill.
Hold the hill, see what we can do. And puts all his efforts on my scoring unit, the Longhorns. Very, very clever. In order to panic them, I do loads of wounds and panic them off the board. I needed an 8, and as you can see, my rerollable 8, and I failed. 9 and a 10 or something, or 10 and a 9, however. Everything else just sort of turns to face. But yeah, nothing much else. In my turn, oh, there you go. That's just to show you what happened. Yeah, aren't I nice with my diagrams? In my turn, I go, you know what? I can't draw the objective. The Wildhorns rally.
You can't win the objective. You've drawn it.
Yes, sure. The Wildhorns rally for their sins, but otherwise I just literally disperse.
Yeah.
It's like a drop of water has come down. Yeah. And I get the hell out of Dodge.
That's quite pretty, actually. Yeah.
Clear. I get Hasten the Hour off to do 1 wound to him. He dispels the higher one. Which, yeah, fair play. He comes over to chase and do some magic at Kruger.
Going for Kruger.
The points. And just because he couldn't charge because he was chaffed himself, he just turns his face. And he doesn't get anything on Kruger for whatever reason. Armor and Hellfire, I think, does go off, but he's AP 0, so it's all good. I get Hasten the Hour off again for a 2nd wound, but doesn't really do anything. He dispels the other Reaver Snipe. Yeah. Not a lot else happens, and that is the last picture.
Nice, looking good though. So you drew objective.
Drew objective.
You got a decent amount of points on the board. I'm going to say, because I can't remember what the score was.
Yeah.
You didn't get objective, so I'm thinking 14-6.
So you reckon 14-6? Make your bets. Place your bets now.
Maybe 13.
3.
Maybe
2.
14.
14?
Yeah.
Boom! 14.
Yeah.
Smashed it.
Boom.
So didn't get the objective. Obviously, the objective was quite big, making it 17 for 14.
Yeah.
But otherwise, pretty good. Pretty happy with that, to be honest. Was thankfully able to deal with his Chosen by getting everything in. But like I said, things still died. A lot died going into them. I was like, there's 4 units on 3 sides. And
you expected that though. You expected that.
So really happy really with actually how everything played out. The Centaurs were awesome. Cleared out a big chunk, and Kruger finished it off really as the champion of Centaurs.
Yeah.
Everything else kind of worked. I could have put a bit more pressure, I think, on his central objective at the cost of other things like the Helmore and stuff.
I reckon with that warrior unit on there though, you could have lost a lot of points by challenging them.
Yeah. What I was really hoping for was that my 1 or 2 remaining Longhorns didn't panic.
Yeah.
Then I could chaff his gargoyles and move on to the hill. In the remaining turns.
Just sneak up onto the hill behind him while he's not looking.
Yeah, whether or not I would have survived is another thing, but that would have been my last play to try and get the objective. But otherwise, happy with everything really.
Mm-hmm.
And again, adds to the mixed tournament really. I've had some good wins and some big losses. So
we won't necessarily speak about where you finished in the tournament because I think actually I've got a screenshot of your final placing at the end of my battle.
Yeah.
So we won't talk about that too much, but it does mean you end on 44 points. So, you say, you started on 30, so you were to the inner 20 of that 50.
I needed a big win, got a medium win, so I was happy with the win. To be honest,
I think you have to be. I think any 14 sixes is still a decent result, no matter what you're trying to
and
get. So.
Luke was a top chap as well. It was nice to play him, and
who goes by the name M? Is that right?
You know what?
Any
I
reason?
didn't ask. In this weird and wonderful world, I didn't ask.
No.
Why he calls himself M?
It's Luke, and his surname doesn't begin with M.
Blacksall.
So.
He doesn't have an M in his name anyway. So there is a story.
There's bound to be.
I don't know it.
Unless you literally just put a list of the letters of the alphabet and just picked one to be his nickname.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
LMNO. So it's next in the. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there you go. M. Luke, if you're watching, put it in the comments. Why are you known as M?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for taking us through that. It was good to see some of your units charging.
I know, finally.
And charge they did.
Right. Oh, my
Maybe
goodness.
That's what you should have done at the start.
But yeah, so it was a good end. At least it ended on a high.
Yeah, definitely. No, well done. Right, so we'll leave this one here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Keep comments coming. And we'll finish off the Scottish Championships with my Dread Elf project. See if I can finish the tournament on a high as well.
Lots to play for.
I'm on 2 wins, 2 losses going into the final round. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see you at that one.
See you later.